Welcome everybody. David, welcome. Great to see you. We have matching shirts on. We're ready for the
Hello,
fall.
hello, everybody out there in TV land,
That's right.
Immigration TV land.
David is coming to us from balmy Florida, Miami, Florida. I'm in New York right now. We got a lot to cover. But let's talk about the EB3 visa. Immigration was in the news a lot. We have an election coming up. But the bottom line is that we've got to get these processing times faster. David, what do you think?
Look, if you look at how the process has been going over the last, let's say, 20 years, I don't think it can get worse. Therefore, it could stay worse, but I am hopeful that it's actually going to get better. That could take a few months. It could take 6 months or a year. But one would think that technology would catch up. But did you say to me when we were off the air, John, that for all 10,000 less skilled or less skill required EB3 workers, such as crew members in restaurants and things like that, did you tell me that there were only 48 United States workers at the government level, at the Department of Labor, 48 workers adjudicating, reviewing the Department of Labor Step 1 PERM application, and only 48 people who are providing the prevailing wage for the whole country?
They talked about how many $25 billion to go address the border issue. Why don't you just hire 50 more people how much are they making? 100,000 a year, let's say. Right?
That's a lot if they're making that, but okay. Is that what the average government worker makes? No.
That's being generous. We'll err on the high side, okay?
All right.
So 500,000, you could double the processing time of legal immigration, of the PERM step at least, right? As opposed to spending 25 billion to go to the border to do whatever you're doing there. Same with the prevailing wage. I think there are 47 prevailing wage adjudicators. They do H-2B and PERM, but why does it take 5 months for a prevailing wage determination? You've got 47 people. It takes less than 10 minutes. Anyway, we've got to get
5 minutes. 10 minutes. Well,
we got to have whoever's the new president. We got to have them look at these. There has to be more efficiency.
Absolutely, because what they have right now is pathetically slow. On the other hand, if they go faster, we're still going to be stuck with the backlogs after the I-140 is approved.
Yeah, you're right.
My question is, what can we do to get the government to increase the numbers so we can reduce the backlogs?
There are some easy ways. Have you seen these bills? One of them is I think dependents are included in the total number, which they shouldn't be because they're not the actual worker. So if you strip out the dependents, which is the easiest thing to do, I think that's one of the current bills.
Is that in the IN? So it has to be a law change, not an executive administrative change. There has to be a law modification that says that in terms of the counting those 10,000, you're only talking the actual green card applicant, not family members.
It's a bill. So that would be the law.
How is that bill doing? Where is it?
No, it never gets past the stages that it needs to get past.
One wonders why, because here you have a method of screening people, screening their family members heavily through FBI background checks, whatever international methods they have of checking to make sure people are not a danger or a threat to themselves or to the United States. And it's all there, and they haven't even entered the country yet. This should be the priority. I don't understand it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know. It's frustrating. A lot of people watching are applicant workers, and it's frustrating for them. It's frustrating for us.
It is, because some people think, oh, lawyers, I don't know, it depends on the law firm. The way I see it, the faster I can help somebody, the more efficient I can be, the more happy they're going to be. the more likely they are to recommend me, the more happy I'm going to be. Because one of the reasons I do this and why you do this is we're not just going into corporate law where it's not even a person. We're helping people. We're helping families. We're helping American businesses fill vacancies, of which there are millions apparently in these areas. So we're doing something good for the country. We're doing good for the family. It's a total legal process for immigration. Nothing could make me happier than if we could make this whole thing go faster and even charge less money if there were a way to reduce the amount of work we have to do and the hurdles we have to jump over, because we could help more people and make the same amount of money, if not more money, more people, more cases. We could all be doing better, and all these people would be contributing to American economy. More people paying taxes, more people using Uber or buying a bicycle or a scooter or even maybe a car when they first get here. You can still get used cars. Nothing wrong with a good used car. There's some awesome ones. Renting an apartment, buying food at the supermarket. That expands the economy. They can pay for helping the homeless with that money, or helping people who are struggling and need help from the government. This is a win.
A total win. It's how jobs are created, and it's how costs are kept down. Inflation is a problem.
But more people and growing the economy is, you can grow the national debt. Imagine if we had 10 million more people working and paying taxes, what that could do for the national debt. I'm not an economist, but obviously it would help if the majority of them were contributing more than they were taking, which these kind of folks we're bringing in have to prove that they're going to be working.
Exactly.
That's the whole point of the visa, of the EB3 visa and the others. When we say visa, by the way, it's funny. It's very confusing because there are visas that are temporary, like the famous H-1B, O-1 extraordinary ability, E3 Australian, E2 investor, et cetera, et cetera. But visa can also mean a green card. So if someone's confused, realize we're talking about a permanent visa, which is a green card. And a green card is for life. Nobody can take it away from you unless you I don't know, you would have to do something really bad to have a green card taken away. Because even if you committed a crime later on and went to jail, if you got out of jail, you probably wouldn't even be deported. You might be if you did something really bad, really. So a green card is for life, and pretty much. And so you're a permanent, that's why it's called permanent resident. And unless you hand in your green card and give it up, you're a permanent resident.
Speaking of green card and visa, this is a bit of a tangent, but a question that a lot of applicants have is, I was refused for my B2 visa. Is that going to affect my EB3 application? And the thing that people have to understand that we've talked about is that non-immigrant visas, the consular officer has wide discretionary authority, wide discretion to adjudicate, which means that they get up on the wrong side of the bed and they want to deny your B2 visa, they can do it. You can appeal it, etc. The EB3, on the other hand, they do not have discretion. You either have to, if it's going to get denied, it's because you're not qualified. Like you lied, you got arrested for drunk driving and you did not disclose that.
Or let's say you didn't have basic English proficiency when you went to the consulate. You didn't understand a word, because you have to have basic English. So folks, use those 3 years or 2 years or whatever it is to make sure your English is really good. The better your English is, probably the better your chances.
Practice. Yeah. And we have an English proficiency requirement at EB3.Work where you have to have English proficiency because you're going to interview with us and you're going to interview with the employer. And if you're not able to have a conversation, then you're not able to pass either of those. And that's another question people have is, my English is terrible right now, but can I get a job offer and then get better? And unfortunately, the answer is no, at least with us, because you have to have a conversation with the employer before you get the job offer. But
by the way, speaking of B1, B2 visas, if they deny you, it's not the end of the world. You can go back again and again until they know you so well. You're back again. You're back again. Yeah. I just want to visit the United States.
David, this has been great. I wanted to keep this short. So
The only message I wanted to say was, I think I could be wrong, but I don't think it could get worse. I think it's going to get better in terms of processing times.
I agree with you. I think, and I'll tell you why I agree with you. I have my own theory. As the processing times get longer, more people get discouraged and fewer people apply. And that results in if fewer people apply, then the processing times get faster. And then as they get faster, then more people apply and it gets slower again. So it's this accordion, slow moving accordion.
Interesting. So it's that contrary thing.
It's a psychology. Yeah, it's human nature. But if your long-term goal is to be a permanent resident, we always say start sooner rather than later.
Yeah. If you're 30 years old or 40, or look, people come to this country from all over the world, sometimes not to the US, not until they're 70 or 80 and have to start a new life. If you're a young person, 2 or 3 years, do something with those 2 or 3 years. Get really good at English. Get good at a musical instrument. Do well at the job you're doing now. Get yourself into good physical shape. Take classes online with, what's it called? Coursera?
Yeah.
There's so much one can do in 2 or 3 years, and then boom, you'll be stronger and better and ready.
I love it. Love it. Add life coach to your long resume. All right, David.
I learned from my own mistakes.
Same. All right. Happy Friday. Great to see you. I hope to see you on the tennis court very soon, or the table tennis court very soon.
Okay.
Until then, thank you.
Bye, John.